If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new album in the description. Kendrick Lamar just announced his new album. I am not kidding. He actually announced this new Oklahoma whatever project today. We're going to look at what happened, what this album is called, when the release date will be, and everything else that we know about it. So let's jump straight into this. This was only released a couple of minutes ago, so we are straight at the source of what's happening, and if anything new happens until you're watching this video, please make sure to add that in the comments so all the fans are always updated. But let's actually get into what happened. So y'all remember that Oklahoma.com website that went up, last year with that new thoughts folder where he talked about working on his last album at TDE and talking about his career in total? Well, on that website, Oklahoma.com, you now also have this black folder in the middle of it. And when you click on this black folder, you see this like press release from PG Lang that we're going to go over in a second. Also, he posted this to his Instagram, so this is actually real and it wasn't hacked or anything. So he also posted it as an Instagram post, which is one of the two only posts that are on his account. And now we're going to go over what this, press release has to say, because obviously that is the interesting part in here. So let's look at this. So this is a press release by PG Lang, as it says at the top. Then it says the Language Enterprises. I guess that's somehow the subtitle of PG Lang. And then we see from the desk of Oklahoma for immediate release. So Oklahoma, again, being that alter ego that Kendrick is using in the release of this whole album. Y'all remember, it was Kung Fu Kenny with Damn and all the other projects before that. We had Good Kid on Good Kid, Mad City. Then, of course, still K-Dot on Section 80. So always these alter egos he's using, and in this case it's Oklahoma. Well, it says Los Angeles, California, April 18th, 2022, so today. The following statement was released today by Oklahoma through his company PG Lang at 11 a.m. Pacific time in Los Angeles, California. So 11 a.m. Pacific time was, of course, at the point of recording this, only about 30 minutes ago. And then it says, which is probably the interesting part that everyone's looking at, album, and then it says Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, and release date May 13th, 2022. All factual information for this release will come directly from this source only. Appreciate your patience. Also, at the bottom with these like two little, kids, a boy and a girl holding up an A, probably with the PG Lang thing, because the A is also like crooked in the PG Lang logo. So, we got to talk about this. So the album is called Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. So far, I have not heard about a Mr. Morale in terms of Kendrick lore. Morale only reminds me of, the black version of Spider-Man, or not like the black version, but the black Peter Parker, quote unquote, Miles Morales, I think his name was. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but that only reminds me of him. And the Big Steppers. So we were all expecting this thing to be called like Oklahoma or anything like that. But this is a title that we've never heard. And so this came out of nowhere. And the release date is May 13th, 2022, and this is not too far in the future. This is about 4.5 weeks into the future. It's a week after Jack Harlow drops Come Back Home, The Kids Miss You. What's also important to add is that on the Discord, again, my man Lucid came through with the information. Y'all go join that Discord, best hip-hop community on this planet. But this album already shows up on the Beeper app, so you can tell that somehow the metadata is like, submitted already, which was to be expected since it's like a really big rollout. This is like the Kendrick Lamar album, the first in like 5 years. So of course they're really planning the release of this. So I guess they already had all the metadata submitted, and they're just ready to go and now waiting just for the perfect time to release this. So I guess, this was all planned a long time ago, which it should have been. It's a Kendrick Lamar album. So it's coming out in only 4 weeks. So far, we've gotten no singles. The, last movement or any type of activity we've had from Kendrick were those features on the Melodic Blue by Baby Keem, who's obviously also a PG Lang affiliate, being Kendrick's cousin, who he's also working with. So that's the last, official type of activity that Kendrick has done musically. And honestly, I'm really not sure if we are even gonna get a single until this album comes out. I think he hasn't done this so far, that there was an album that just didn't have any singles beforehand. I think Damn had some singles, but it could also well not have gotten any singles. So I guess Kendrick could just drop an album with no singles, and that would not affect its commercial success by any means. Now, I think a lot of people are, and this is kind of, a hot take, but I think a lot of people are underestimating Kendrick right now. A lot of people are saying like, oh, he's been gone for 5 years, and he's still very important in the culture, but he's not gonna do like crazy when he comes back. For example, we've seen Cole last year do about 300,000 first week. I think it was 288,000 with the off season, and that was also a really high anticipated record. But I think when Kendrick comes through, he's gonna do like double that, triple that, so that adjust my expectations. I think that a lot of people are like, yo, he's gonna do really well, like 300, 400,000 first week. I'm talking like big numbers. I'm talking just Kendrick completely destroying the music industry and hip hop in terms of just impact, and just dropping in and completely dropping something influential and just commercially wise as well, just insane. I mean, Damn already sold 603,000 first week. I think this thing could, scratch at the 1 million mark. That is my expectation for this. Anyway, of course, there are going to be a lot more videos until this thing drops, and I'm going to make like a lot more videos, because this is like once in a lifetime, situation that we're getting this new Kendrick record, goddamn. So make sure you subscribe if you always want to stay up to date with this new, Mr. Morales and the Big Steppers album that is about to drop in May. As he said in that Instagram post, all information is going to come from the official Kendrick Lamar account. So we're still waiting on cover art. We're still waiting on track list. We're still waiting on some singles, which I would really like to get, just to get an idea of what this will sound like. We're waiting on like a features list that will probably come with the track list, and maybe he's gonna do something like a trailer or a documentary with it, which I would expect, since PG Lang, with PG Lang, that project, he wants to just expand creatively as well and do other projects. So it would really make sense for him to drop something accompanying this album with it. Now, of course, we could talk about this being announced by PG Lang. Is this not the last TDE record? Is this a PG Lang record? Since TDE was not mentioned once in this press release. So is it not the last record he's working on for TDE? But that could just, very well be material for a future video, because there's a lot that we can go deep dive into when it comes to that. Anyway, so that's kind of the facts right now. Kendrick Lamar releasing a new album called Mr. Morales and the Big Steppers, coming out May 13th, which is crazy that I make this video. Kendrick Lamar just announced a new album. Never thought that I would do this. Damn. Okay, so now all of that, just my opinion. Let me know what you think about this. Were you shocked when you saw this? What are your expectations for this? What do you hope to see, hear on this record? Do you think this is the last TDE record, or the first PG Lang record for him? I'm gonna make a separate video on that as well in the very near future. And I guess until that, all of your thoughts on this, all of your first reactions, your feelings about this, what your emotions are like now having this new Kendrick album release. I think a lot of fans are like going crazy right now, me myself included, but I had to hop on this video and record it, but I guess now I'm gonna freak out about it. But yeah, all of that, let me know, all of it in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and you'll take care.